Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a good Monday. It's September 21st, and I am here with a weather update. So today we're going to be talking about the tropics, and we're going to be going a little bit into like a longer range, because weather's starting to get more active now, so we can actually look at that and stuff. Let's get started. So right now we have Tropical Storm Beta, and yes, as you guys can see, we have hit the Greek alphabet for tropical storm names. And I think this is the second time ever. The other time we did the Greek alphabet was 2005. So this is Beta, 45 miles per hour, winds, maximum sustained winds, minimum central pressure 999 from the National Hurricane Center. Now we still have Teddy hanging around to the northeast of Bermuda, winds of 90 miles per hour, and a minimum central pressure of 956. He's heading up off to the north. And then we have a 80% chance of development in the next 2 days of a disturbance further into the east. That area. So we're going to be watching that. I don't really think it's going to affect the U.S. at all. But we'll have to see. And then we have a little bit of a disturbance of a very low chance of forming in the southeast of Florida, which we'll keep an eye on in tomorrow's video. Yes, I will be back tomorrow. I don't have time, and I'm trying to do this. Eastern Pacific. We just have Lowell. Lowell is a tropical storm with 45 mile per hour winds. I think that the Pacific has had a slightly below average season this year, if I'm correct, or a pretty normal hurricane season. I think it's actually been slightly below average compared to last year. It's just forecasted to stay a tropical storm in the National Hurricane Center. So not much going on in the Eastern Pacific to really worry about. Now, let's talk about Beta, because Beta is the closest to America right now. So let's go to... we'll talk about Teddy for a second. So Teddy is heading off to the north. Areas in Nova Scotia have tropical storm warnings. And it's forecast to hit Nova Scotia and go up off to the north. It has a very big wind field right now. The tropical storm force wind field is bigger than Nova Scotia. It's not really good. And that's heading up towards Nova Scotia. I expect that Nova Scotia's tropical storm warnings have already been issued. So it's not really affecting the U.S. Maybe a little bit of rain and some breezy conditions for eastern Maine or areas of New England, but not really much. But if you do live in Nova Scotia, watch out, because that could be an issue. And now let's go over to Beta. Beta is the closest Beta is right next to Texas right now. Look at the cone. Tropical storm force wind field is decently big, as you guys can see right there. Kind of a weird shape, but it's that general area. It's forecasted to be a depression, or it's forecasted to be a tropical storm all the way through Wednesday afternoon, and it's forecasted to die off and move up into Louisiana and then Mississippi, and so on. The remnants of it. We'll have to see. We're going to be looking at what the remnants do after this. Kind of at the end of the video. Wind speed probabilities 90 to 100% along Texas, on the coast of Texas. And a good amount of rain is still expected for in Texas, so that's not really good. Now, Beta looks pretty terrible. On infrared. You can see. This looks pretty bad. We have one little storm right there on the Texas coast. We have a little cluster of storms off to the east of it. The center of the low is probably in this area somewhere. And we have looks to be some rain. Let's actually look at the composite radar. See what's going on. So we probably have a cluster of storms in this area, and we have some storms coming along on Texas. And we just have a lot of pulse storm type storms going kind of in that area. Definitely a pretty interesting tropical system. Tropical storm Beta. Let's look at what the remnants of that do. So we can see it's right there in the GFS model. GFS model has the remnants it's not really doing anything. It just has them moving out here and bringing some rain areas like Atlanta and areas of North Carolina and South Carolina. Atlanta's not right there. Sorry. The GFS are doing that. Now the Canadian, though, let's see where the Canadian model is going, the remnants. The Canadian model has the remnants kind of going in the same spot and colliding with a big low pressure system next Monday. So let's actually look at that. So I'm kind of like, not really look at the long range, but let's see what's actually supposed to happen. So the remnants of this is supposed to get kind of collide with the cold front. As you guys can see, this is September 27th. Strong low pressure system up in Canada. Probably a large cold front, not that big, but a good sized cold front coming down in the south. As you can see, we have cooler, dry area back here in that area. Actually, like all the way down here. And we can see our low pressure systems all the way up there, but a large cold front coming down. Thunderstorms in front of that, as you guys can see. Maybe even some severe weather. We'll have to keep an eye on that, though. This is actually this weekend. And then after that, we're going to have a pretty significant cool down. Especially right around October 1st, we could be watching a decent-sized cool down. We're going to be talking about that a little bit. It is pretty far out, but we're going to look at that a little bit. It's about a week and a half out. So yeah, we're going to have to watch this for maybe some severe weather. Not really no snowstorms to watch yet. We haven't really had any this year so far. But it's only September. We did have one, which I had one video about in the Rocky Mountains earlier in the month. Now, this is also a little interesting low pressure system. And the GFS model has been consistent with this being right here in this general area. So weakening, it's going to be a pretty strong system if that does happen. It's going to bring a lot of showers. It looks like it's some rain. Maybe not really a snow threat, but maybe something could mix in the northwestern area. We'll have to see, though. Probably not. Actually, maybe once it weakens a little bit. Yeah, it looks pretty interesting. Now, let's look at the temperature anomalies here before in the video. So, yeah, let's look at the temp anomalies. So, right now, we have a little bit of a cooler blast for areas of the east. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have pretty pretty cold temperatures. Pretty much the whole of the east. Not cold, but below average. Take a look at what the temperature is going to be like according to the GFS model. We have 40s pretty much going all the way down to North Georgia and all the way over to eastern North Carolina. So pretty much a ton of 40s, maybe even some upper 30s in some areas of the higher elevations to the northeast. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Now let's go back to temp anomalies and continue. And so you see we're going to have a big warm-up for especially areas of the north, and then eventually the east. And the whole country is pretty much above average. Then we see that's our strong low pressure system right there that I was talking about. This is Tuesday, September 29th. You can see the GFS model has been consistent with this. It's been consistent with a pretty good cool down for the past 5 model runs in the same area. It has a cold front right here, and cooler, dry air setting back into this area. As you guys can see, their temperatures right now look to be around 8 to 10 degrees below average for this area. Then you can see that gets stronger down in the Kentucky and stuff. You have temperatures 10 to 15 degrees below average for this whole area here. And so that's a pretty good cold blast. And then it gets a little bit stronger as we go into October. It moves further east, and then we have a warm-up for the west again. And it stays warm for a little bit. So we are getting some nice cooler blasts. Cold blasts, as you can see, almost 15 degrees below average. Yeah, so pretty interesting. It's been pretty consistent with this happening. Let's see. I don't know if the Canadian model goes out far enough. Yeah, it does. And the Canadian model has a little bit more. It has it actually a little bit stronger. Maybe a little bit further to the west. So yeah, we're gonna watch that. It's wouldn't hurt. Let's look at the GFS pair real quick. It doesn't go out that far. So yeah, we could be seeing another cool down as we go into October. Well, maybe a little bit stronger and more widespread than the one we have right now in the east. For tomorrow morning, and the temperatures with this cold blast go. Coldest morning for much of the country. We'll go look at that real quick, just for fun. Temperatures here. All right, so Wednesday morning we have lows in the 40s, maybe the 30s up towards Bismarck, North Dakota, eastern South Dakota. 40s going all the way down to northern Mississippi, and all the way over to PA. The cold front's you guys can see the cold front's in this area right here. It's a pretty big front. And then we see the colder morning is Thursday morning. We have 30s down towards Des Moines. You're in the upper 30s. This is far out though, so these could be this is probably going to end up different than what we're thinking right now. It could end up being stronger, or it could end up being weaker, but I do think we're going to be seeing a cold blast as we go into October. Oh yeah, that's wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow. But yes, bye.